All right. Oops. Well, so let me kinda change my camera. All right, cool. So here we are. Okay. Right, so since last time I was working on adding something to feed these chickens. See the guy here? The problem is I ran into a problem with the terrain. I can't just spawn meshes everywhere because it turns out the code I'm using for meshes is well, how should I put it? Very slow. Hey, yep. It is time. So yeah, I'm trying to get these chickens to be fed. They used to be immortal, but now they're dying. Okay. So let's make times pass, and then you see here their hunger is decreasing, which means as this decreases, they're getting more hungry. So at around 84, they're trying to get some food, so to keep this hunger level saturated at 100. Okay. Thirst, energy, similar deal. Like these are kind of in the way of things. Yeah, also I'm trying to stream on YouTube now because I think it might be better to also archive these things. Anyway, right. So I experimented with making all of these grass tiles to be entities, but that's gonna be super slow. Okay, so we're gonna do some optimization work today. The reason things are slow is what are you guys? Look at this guy, he's naked. Do we not have clothes for everyone? Okay, maybe not. The reason things are slow, it's because we do it in a silly way. So let's see why. What's this name? Superluminal. God, adds on my command taskbar. Right. Close this guy. We're gonna do debug. It doesn't matter. I mean, of course, you should do your profiling on release. But the thing is, I need to have acceptable debug performance as well, right? So, new game. Okay, what's happening here? We have some recording. Okay, this is gonna take a while. I can tell you from now what the problem is. The problem is here. Double GPU rendering. Oh, okay, actually, this font might be better to be a bit bigger. What is the shortcut here? Control B. Okay. And then, cool. Okay. All right, what's the problem? Problem is here. Where we update mesh data. Let me see where this is called. It's called over here. Rebuild mesh pool. So every tick we call this function that resets the mesh pool, creates the mesh resources for the terrain, and then updates the mesh data for non-terrain things. So it's happening here. Let's make this a bit bigger. Okay. So let's see, render with double GPU, 14 milliseconds. Rebuild mesh pool, look at this, even now, with not that many, it's 4 milliseconds. Unacceptable. It's unacceptable because of this function. Wait, that's wrong. That was the first one. Oh no, actually chunk create mesh resources. Map cell, build textures. 2 milliseconds. Each chunk, okay, instance draw call. This should just add a mesh. I am a bit confused why. Maybe. The thing is we never save it. Now we do save it. Right, it's a lot of copies basically, which is annoying. Don't know if you can see this. I can't make this. Can I? Okay. Game update. If we look in this tool here, it's not made for tiny screens, but whoops. This function is what? Update. Present. Okay. UI. Okay, I can't use this tool because it's just way too big of a window here. But I promise you it's because of allocations that are happening. So we have to fix that. And I can show you some of them. The terrain ones, they don't bother me. I don't know. I think it's just because we copy from the terrain data into where it is, into the GPU buffer. But this is already cached, right? So okay. Oh, hey, the pose. How are you? Okay. So right. All right, so what happens is the following. Here, when we update mesh data, per frame, we go through all of the rendering components and transform components, pairs, and we do a bunch of creation of meshes. All right, Nice. Nice seeing you here. I was actually thinking, but now it makes sense. Right, welcome. Here, we're gonna do some Dwarf one time things. Most notably, optimize some stuff. Because I want to have a... So it all starts with having my chickens that need to be fed. Okay? Right now, all of these textures for grass, they're cached in the terrain meshes. And I want them to not be terrain meshes, but to be dynamic, like the dwarves or this workshop, or this tree or whatever, right? But in order to do that, I realized my game runs at 2 FPS, and we're just gonna try it. Okay. Spawn requests, okay. Yes, that is Igui. That is Igui. Yeah, I mean, the art is not mine, so I need to make menus and stuff, which will mean I'll hijack Igui's rendering and then color this nicely, use a pixelated text and call it a day. So you see now I already have a workshop window. You can make beds, whatever, like let's craft a bed. Okay, crafting a bed. You'll have these guys here come. That's a mattress. This is my art. Some Z issues there. This guy is carrying the bed frame, no problem. Yeah, very easy. And then, you know, it creates a bed here. Oh, we have many problems actually. Another problem is build bed. Let's put one here. For some reason, this guy, instead of taking this bed, which is free, they're gonna build a new one, which is a bit annoying. Anyway, they built a new one, they're putting it there. They're gonna use it for sleep as well. Right. Also, another thing that's new for most people is my new renderer with WGPU. So now it's 3D. You see? Look at this shit. Amazing. So the whole trickery here is that I have 2D art, but a 3D kind of isometric world, Minecraft-like world. And then I carefully project this art so it looks good from one angle, which is this angle. It looks, whoops, not this. That's a bug. It looks pixel perfect once I project it. So this is kind of tricky to do, but once you do it, it's really cool. And all of my art is like this. What's the name? Let me see. Workbench. No, that's too big. Maybe. What's this actually? Wardrobe. You see? This is already projected here. Oh, this doesn't zoom in, but whatever, you get the idea. Alright. Problem is my chickens need to be fed. So I added chickens. Oh yeah, thank you. It's a Romanian artist. I have a huge art batch coming in. Even from his past art, I didn't add a few things, which is the chicken and all of those. I have a bear that I need to add. Oh, I can't open it. Anyway. I think the cow, no, this is my cow. This cow. I even have a cute cow. I mean, look at this. My cow his cow. Spot the difference. Anyway, right, back to feeding chickens. So what we're gonna do today, I wanted to play with this actually, arena allocators. I know, right? Programmer art. You can still, I think, yeah, these are not the ore. What is this? Planks. I have a bunch of planks here. This is my art workbench cooking table, again mine. Anyway, that's work in progress now. So the artist is making some more things. I don't know when they're gonna be ready, but once they are, I'll let them. Okay, oh, let me actually show you guys what else we have here. So they fight other dwarves. Let's add some enemy dwarves, okay? Oh, okay, do I have goblins actually? Okay. Don't mind that. Okay. Enemy dwarf. So I haven't spawned enemy dwarves in a while because I ported this from OpenGL to WGPU and commented a bunch of code, but it shouldn't affect this at all. Alright, they're doing chop damage and stuff. They're fighting. Problem is with this fighting you can't quite tell where exactly they are. But this guy, for example, had his head chopped off. Same as this guy. Dwarf torso. Blood spatter. Oh, I think there's a problem with rotating them when they die. This head is on the ground. Anyway, pretty grim. So they fight each other if they're on different factions. The surviving ones will also craft all sorts of things. For example, we have here cooking table, furnace, all of these things, loom. Another programmer art here. So crafting pretty much works fine. Okay. Then they can bandage themselves if anyone is bleeding. I can't tell. Is this guy bleeding? Body parts. No, they actually, the ones that are alive are somehow not bleeding. He's freezing though, probably because he has no pants. So we have temperature, we have every body part can be chopped off, they can bleed, they can create medicine and stuff. For example, bandage needs some cotton. We don't have cotton here, but there's a cotton plant I spawned somewhere around here. This one. So if we forage this thing, you'll see this little guy going here. He also has a tool in his hand. You can't quite see because I don't have the artwork. Doing a bit of foraging, takes the cotton, and he's now gonna craft this bandage. and if they need it, that stops their bleeding, and so on. All right. If you want to see something a bit more grim, we have this cooking table here, okay, and you can literally craft a roasted dwarf leg from your enemy's corpse, which is gonna happen. It's a bit over the hill, so you can't quite see, but if we look at the selection here, roasted leg, consumable, cooked meat, okay, so you gotta do what you gotta do to survive. I actually had a bug. If you didn't have a leg around from a dead dwarf, they would take it from one that was alive. Not cool, I would say. Okay. So that got fixed. Exactly. Exactly. Wasn't pleasant for the dwarf whose leg was being taken, but you know, we have plenty of things. For all of this I need to add art. What I intend on doing is add the cow, chicken, and then start tuning it a little bit so it's like a demo. Right now it's a bit of a tech demo because I have all these systems. You can craft things, but then again, you can't, it's not balanced. They cost random amounts of resources depending on what my boot was that day. So I'm trying to do this and have a bit of seasons. So maybe in a demo, you have to survive the winter or something. All right. And there are way too many dwarfs right now, but that's fine. You'll start with fewer. Another thing, dwarves don't have feelings. Okay, so that's a thing I want to do later. So they get sad or whatever, disturbed by things. Cool. Anyway, so chickens. Let's create, instead of doing this here. Okay. Second. So here we have some spawn requests, and then we can spawn things. So let's say we do this. And then concatenate and okay, and then right, here's the problem. If it's air cell, the ground above, instead of changing this, I don't want grass cells anymore. So let me check that we have no more grass. Okay, pretty grim. But instead, what I want to do, think this is entity type, and then position. Let me check. God, this large font is getting to me. I don't see anything. Entity type vectory. Right, it needs to be string. I thought entity type is just an if def to string. Maybe it was this. Okay. Cool. So now we're gonna spawn some grass. Also, I need to change something here. Settings. I think this thing is kind of useless. They were saying this would make it run faster, but honestly, I can't quite see. It looks to me like it's waiting quite a bit between runs. Okay. All right, so now let's try. This is amazing. Okay. Right. Building artifacts. Now it will be super slow. My computer is super slow because of this guy doing things. So let's leave it for a second. Good. Okay. Oh yeah, we added some sounds as well, but they're not on yet. In the meantime, we need to go here to this mega JSON file. Another thing with this game is that almost everything is moddable, so recipe table. I want to have a tree. Components, renderable. How do I spawn trees? Okay, entity type tree has this chance, this min height, max height. So there should be one like this. Okay. Okay, so this is a tree. It has what? Item, renderable, transform. Whoa, how's this working? Huh. Fairly sure this is what was supposed to be there. Oh, and then it has the crop component. H0, it's small t, 30 ticks, 80 ticks, harvestable. All right, so let's copy this guy. Actually, something that would be better, maybe it's a pumpkin, but okay. So I want to make... That's the problem. You need to put this entity type in 15 places for some reason. Don't worry about that. This is very well designed. Texture type. Okay, this is tricky here. Map. Summer grass 1. Okay, it's a good one. And okay, for some reason this doesn't work as a link. Summer grass 2. Okay. Random texture pool. Summer grass 1, and so this means you get a random between these two. Okay. I don't want it to be a cube. I want it to be this cube bottom quad, because the grass is at the bottom of a thing. With height layer, I don't think I need this. And the crop, let me not have a crop yet. Okay, cool. And then here in spawn rules, I don't want to do it with spawn rules because this just kind of spreads things around like diamond, gold, coal, and those things. I wanted to put it everywhere. So if I am dirt, and above me is air, I'm just gonna spawn some grass there. This isn't quite correct because later on I could change it to be rock or something. Okay, look at this. I spawned grass somehow at a position that was weirdly high. But then it falls down and then it's one above for some reason. But I don't know if you can notice my frames per second, like my game performance has tanked. As expected. That is because... We'll see exactly the problem. Because of that rebuild meshes, I recreate meshes on every tick. Oh my god. It's like PowerPoint. Okay. Oh, I should have enabled profiling. Even with sample profiling, you can... Yep. Actually, funny enough, this is exactly my card. So... The problem will be not there though. Problem is, as usual, memory allocations. Okay, so let's go to a random frame here. What's happening? 52 milliseconds, a game update. This shows it as 12 seconds, but it's wrong. it's because it's a sample, so it can't quite tell. But look at this, 52 milliseconds to rebuild this mesh pool. Out of it, terrain is kind of 2 milliseconds. Oh yeah. No. This is actually that card. By the way, that 3080 in this PC is just like is the most performant. Yeah, I need to make it. So the problem is actually the card can pull its weight quite good, but everything else in this PC is just at least 10 years old. So it's actually quite struggling with the stream right now. So it's we're gonna have to optimize because I won't be able to develop it if we don't. Right, so here this includes kind of like a fully driven GPU driven. Can I zoom in here? No. Okay, great. I'm trying to see if I anyway. So what we're doing here, we're creating some meshes with some texture coordinates, and at the end of this thing we somehow delete it, but copy it into the GPU memory, and then after all of this is done, we call this commit upload, and this is actually in CPU memory that then is just sent to the GPU here, and then somewhere later it's rendered. Rendering is actually this thing, 244 microseconds. Maybe this and this. Maybe not. Actually, it might be from here to here rendering. So it's 1 millisecond. And then we're waiting for subbuffer here. It's maybe a bit more, 1 millisecond. Anyway, as you can see, this is unacceptable. 52 milliseconds, what's going on? And when you look at what's going on, it's basically creating all of these bottom quads, which is kind of like just quads, or no, it's just cubes. And then what's happening here? We just allocate memory, so in order to get this game again to be okayish performing, we have two options. Option number one, we do what I did with the terrain, and the terrain for all of its cells takes 2 milliseconds. I think something's off here, but it seems to just copy some data to some other place. So maybe, I mean, it's pretty large. How do I move? Yeah, it's a pretty large chunk of memory to copy on the GPU, on the staging buffer that then goes to the GPU. Anyway, so if I click on this, I'm not sure you'll see. Oh, we can't actually see properly, but it's basically creating quads for that grass. And most of the time, it's growing a vector. Right. And I was reading about memory arenas. So that's what we're gonna do. To be perfectly honest, the even more correct solution would be this one. To not do the reset here. Actually, I don't do anything. So if I remove this reset, then I keep a mapping in GPU memory, and then I can just set updates to the geometry that has changed. That would be a nicer way to do it, and we're gonna do that. But I really want to try to see how it would be to pass an allocator to these functions. Okay. So we go here, Bumpaloo. Can I? Okay, I need to probably delete this. And I probably want collections from there. So this is the vector here, and there's another vector where we create things. But for now, let's leave it the silly way and see if we can get away with it. So update mesh data, where is this called? Right, so before we call this function, with capacity, how much should we have? This should be enough, or maybe let's make 4 megs. And then can I add this? I know Rust had this. I don't remember. Let me Google something. Vec now supports custom allocators. Really? Really? I don't think is it this nightly? Ah, there was this. Yeah. This. What's fresh Rust? Great, nice. Okay. Right. Is this how we do these things? And this would be found what? Is this how it's looking? I just wanna have an example with a vector that allocates with a custom allocator. Bump. We can use cargo tree. Oh yeah, so I need to go. I saw it when I downloaded it. This. Cargo build. Doesn't have those features. Is it this? Yeah. Okay, let's see what's happening here. Okay, trait bump allocator is not satisfied here. There are multiple different versions. Oh. This is direct dependency of current trait. This is the required trait. 203. Is it because, I wonder, if Bumpaloo and I depend on various different, I mean, clearly they're different, but like what's going on? Let me see. Man, it would have been so nice if this was in stable. So this is 030, which I assume is what is here. And then this is 0 to 21. Right. Whoops. Well, is this just working then? What's happening here? Oh, it's Windows, Linux, Android. I guess this is Windows. Okay. I feel this isn't... What is this thing? It's implemented for this guy. Nice one. Okay, maybe log wasn't the correct thingy. Zero to 21. It's the same version everywhere. It's dependency of what hash brown. Okay. What does this mean? The trade bound is not satisfied, and then it tells me it is implemented for bump of min align. Okay. Which is a const. Okay. Creates a new bump. Bump of min align. Blup. The minimum whatever. How is this supposed to... You know what? I feel like this is a bug. Okay. So let's try something else. I would have liked to not do this, to be honest, but I'm not gonna use nightly, so I think this guy also had the collections, no? Feature flags. Default. Collections. Okay, but this is so annoying. I don't like it. I would have liked to just send an allocator here. Oh wait, actually it might work, but I want to see. Bump allocator. Oh, okay, I need to use this vector, not this. Okay. What with capacity? Okay. So this would be sent here. Can I... Okay, and this arena, I can now use this like this, right? So this vector will be in this arena. Would have been way nicer to not have to do this and just have it work in the like standard collections. Whoa, compiled. Insane things are happening. Right, so there's a few, there's this meshes and there's another one which is, well, actually, let's see if this makes any difference. I would say probably no, because there's like what, 64 by 60, so now that I can feel it. These are also offsetted wrong, so I need to fix that, but terrain. If I go here, I want to do one below. Okay, and then I need to go here, and then this shouldn't be bottom. Cube bottom quad. What? Is it like this? Ooh, cube high percentage 1. Ah, there's a default. Oh. Okay, this should do it. Right. It's still very, very unclear to me. No, I didn't do it. Why do they spawn me there and fall down? When I... clearly tell them to be here. And this is height for sure. is a problem for another day. Okay. All right, so this is not too bad. If you send the arena and then you have some collections, and if I look now at superluminal, I mean, it's a debug build, granted, so it's not gonna be fantastic. Okay. Wonder if it made any difference. Oh, I don't have the previous capture. Okay. I think... Oh, this check actually is useless because we never save the mesh data, as far as I remember. Yeah, it's the same or worse. Okay, that was one mesh. Okay, let me try something else here. Cube. What if this is like this? OBS drops here for a second. Nice one. Thank you, OBS. Okay. All right. Where was I? Percentage cube buffer. This is the problem now. This vertex cannot be that, and it has to be this. Where's the lifetime actually? What? Oh, but then what's the point? Because like this mesh should be, we need to be typed on those on the arena as well with the lifetime. And these mesh I cache. Yeah, I don't like this. All right, cool. So it's fun. I don't like it. I don't want to have to cache this guy. And then maybe it's easier in languages like, but like if I cache this guy, well, I maybe I don't need to cache meshes, but I need for terrain. Let me check. What do we have here? Oh, I think I cache them per chunk. No. Chunk. Instance data. Okay, and the mesh. Right, so this is cached here. So I can't just like have this be with a random lifetime of an allocator, because this needs to be basically static life, or at least that will propagate through the terrain and everything, and it's just ugly. All right, so you know what, screw this. Let's do the other thing, which is what's the file? Systems? Nope. So we can leave this be expensive, but then we cache the texture ID, texture handle here. So instead of caching this guy, mesh data, I mean, we could mesh vector and a bool. I know I wanted to do that, but because I had this here. But then it becomes silly because at this point was the advantage. I guess I don't get any sort of fragmentation in that memory that I sent to the GPU. But in case meshes die. We do also this sorting step, which is kind of dodgy. What happens if we don't? What? They don't appear at all. Coal. Okay, coal is nice. Is this how it's supposed to look like? I guess so, yeah. They're somehow not appearing at all. Oh wait, I commented I'm a Muppet. What an absolute Muppet. So I need them to be sorted. Yeah. What is happening here? It's because the hair is behind, I guess, but God. There's some stuff going on here. I mean, technically I could fix this. Okay, you know what? This is needed, but then I can also, instead of pushing it to these meshes here, I can cache it and push it after. So maybe instead of this, like this is a tuple. Okay, so I need more parentheses and then continue. Really, man, there has to be a nicer way to deal with this memory, because this geometry is the same all the time. So even if I return handles after they've been added here in the correct order, I guess if something gets spawned, I need to resort. Okay, so this sorting step. Okay, so maybe Maybe the problem is this and I can sort on the GPU, but for now, let's do this. And rendering component mesh data should be saved here. This is this green one, this is here. Well, okay. Let me save it here. Problem is I'm mixing a bunch of stuff here and that's why things are being messy and super slow. This require a bit more data somehow. So this layer is not needed for caching for some... What? Wait a second, how? Is this not needed for caching then? Okay, you know, let's not deal with tuples anymore. Let's have some sort of a struct here because I'm a bit confused. So this is mesh instances and this. Oh, but I have the transform component here. Okay, fine. Okay, and these layers need to disappear. No, I should... Okay, this work. These lines are definitely not helping me in figuring out where am I. So this has 3. Cube has 3. Cube bottom quad also has 3. Are you trolling me? Yeah, I'm being trolled. Okay. Expected reference instance data found. Expected what? Found reference. Oh, instance data is only at the end on a vector. Oh, okay, but in that case, I don't quite see how this lifetimes will work though. It's background music. It's sessions by Riot Games Music. Sessions. Yeah, this one. No worries. Feel like we're confusing a bunch of types here. Let's not add it anywhere. We save it here. Whoops. How do I create more cursors in this editor? Come on, man. Okay, whatever. Actually, I don't even need these. Oh, I remember. Okay. Let's forget about it. Don't want to deal with this now. Okay, so we have a mesh, a vec, and a bool. Okay, that's my serialization stuff. This is like peak optimization. I'm making it actually slower. Well, actually, wait. This means I need to do it here. Now, oh, this is gonna be ugly. Really, still mismatched. It's borrowed. What do you mean it's borrowed? Oh. Right. Of course. In that case, we do this trickery and 4 through this too. If just wanna, okay, then this isn't needed here. Technically, this shouldn't be too bad because there are not that many meshes out there. So I can just push it here. Except this is a ball. And then I wanna check this works. Cannot be the reference. What? Ah, it's because it's okay. Oh, and I also need to push here. The layer. Okay. I don't particularly like this, but how what's happening here. No way, this moves it out. Are you kidding me? Moved here, used after move. Really? Really? It's because of this. And then it's gonna be read for both. I think only here we need to be careful. Now rebuild mesh pool. Alrighty. Now let's see. This is the problem we have here. These things just move about, but they don't re-update their mesh. So right, where were we? Tracking stuff. I need to check somehow that if the transform was updated, I need to invalidate the mesh. Let me see what Google says for this. Okay. Tracked storage. What did I press? Track storage. If this is true. Set modified. Mark modified. Tracking modified. Mark modified. Modified indices. Okay. For transform component. Track storage. This is how it works. Flagged. Oh, this is a trait. Is it this type? Do we wrap it in? Okay. Okay, that's a lot of types, but that's fine. Modified indices, okay. I guess, wait, so how does this work? Can I do here? Can I do this? tracking, set tracking. This is a modified bit set. Any call will set modification bits. By default, tracking is not turned on. You must turn it on by set tracking modified true. But then, how do I check that? Of course, this doesn't exist. No problem. Right, is that called there? Where do I call this? Component access. Right, okay. What is confusing to me is how do I get this information back out that was modified? Oh, this is okay. Forget about this. No matter okay, found for masked. What the heck is mask storage? And this is when I wish I was using Bevy. The Bevy ECS. Storage. Because this thing that I'm using, it's an ECS library that has kind of 0 comments. And it worked fine, but like this is inner storage mute. Oh, maybe I need that. This is gonna be a different type. And exists, but all right, it because this is read component. It's component access. Look at all of these layers. Component storage access. Okay, storage mute. Mm. Okay. Expected. Okay. Please work. Although it might not work because this is. How do I? Oh, I guess this. What is this? Flagged. Okay, so this would be flagged storage. Good lord. We're getting there. Flagged. Where was it? Oh, this is not like in Visual Studio. That's a shame. Okay, let me check again. Oh, this should be unflagged, no? Hmm. Is there no way to automatically detect these are changed? Nobody uses this, so let's check GitHub. No way. God. Honestly. Feel like this is exactly what I had and it didn't work. Okay, cool. So tracking will be enabled, which means I need at the end of the update here. Profiling, whatever. This is my mega update function that updates all of the systems. Guess it's this. We are modified. This is self world. And this is whoops. I think this should be fine. So we clear it here because we already good with this thing. So if we clear it, I think the only thing that's a bit unclear in my head now is how do we here iterate through all of these that have been modified. So can I just do join does into join mask I think I can do this. No, I think the indices are the same as an entity array. So if I do oh, so I get a storage. So indices must match. Okay. So if I do for Modified bit set. Can I do this? And then I can do component storage. Modified index. I think this would work. Of course not. Cannot index into a value of type. Can I index into this? What functions do I have? Get. Whoops. Yeah, so rendering components here can be reset. Atomic bit set like, but not in scope. Would you like to implement? Can I just iterate to it? Cannot index. Whoops. Cool. All right. Resetting has happened. So now we should rerun it. The ones that are moving should reset their mesh data here. This is not gonna get skipped. They get added again. My God, what a complication. I think okay, the theory was correct. When I put it in practice though, it absolutely didn't work. But I think I can also do it here. So for example, okay. Oh, there's no way to get the index here, so I need... okay. This presumably is never called, right? I don't like this. I need to spend some time, maybe this week, cleaning up this code. Oh, we shouldn't have trees growing on top of workshops. Okay, we never do anything like this. But then how do we update the position? Guess is it's in pathfinding or something. Dead, dying, blood splatter. Movement, update movement. Transform components. This is mutable, right? So what's up? Transform component. All right, have a nice week, dude. Okay. You know, clearly we're modifying these guys, right? It's a right component. We're doing the get mute thing. I'm a bit... Oh, that'd be funny if this isn't called. It's not funny anymore. It was actually not called. What? Dude. This is actually not nice. Do I not insert them here? It return none. Oh. What do you return that? Option of component storage. When? Don't get it. Remove. What's happening here? We insert here. We do this thing. Which is a map. Insert. The current value is that value. Oh, so it returns it off only if, well, only if it exists in there for some reason. So this code was never executed. That's cool. No problem. Honestly, this is very nice though. It might just work now. Okay. It also has this function here, so I think I complicated my life a bit. Because I can probably just do this. Yes. So this is also a little bit of an overkill. It's a bit nicer. Okay, so now the storage tracking should work. This should work, and all of these things should also work. Let's see. This chicken doing. Somehow the chicken isn't tracked. Who's moving this guy then? No, I can I not? It's so bizarre that the chicken is there. Everything works correctly except the chicken. This chicken is just giving me so much headache. Okay, well. Why? Why are you not working? Okay. I wonder if I do this, will it rain chickens? By the way, Zed, such a good editor. Love it. Where are the chickens? You know what I mean? Where are they? Oh, is it maybe because... No, actually, I'm serious. Where are these chickens? Oh, well, okay, they don't work. Okay. Can I do this? This is so strange. We're spawning a lot of dwarves. Oh no, we crashed. What? I don't understand what's happening. We... And these guys don't fall. Because of... Don't I add physics component to them? I don't get it, man. I don't get it. I feel like we're adding the physics component to some stuff, because if I dig under things, they just fall. But they don't seem to be in this thing. So what are the rules? Some components just get randomly attached if some other components get attached. Like for example, if you have a rendering component, you always get a transform component. Body part stuff. If it's not a terrain cell, you always add the physics component. Alright, so here's the thing. Oh, I guess physics moves it. What the heck is going on? Oh, don't tell me some stuff happens in render. Hierarchy. So I think this is being reset before we should reset it. Actually, problem is some stuff gets transformed, and then we might not be able to see the change here because we cleared it here. But let's say this is the place where things change, whereas here I build the meshes, so technically the next frame I should build a different mesh, but they change here and then I clear the transforms here, so of course that is not good, which means I could clear it here, but that's gonna be ugly. Rebuild mesh pool. Where are you being called? Render. Oh, and this is in render. Okay. Okay. And then this is called in game update. Self world, self whatever. So the normal place to do it would be here, because it guarantees I went through the render. Thank you for the subscribe. Player Anonymous. Thanks for the follow. All right. Okay. We're cooking, boys. Check it out. So oh, okay, wait. This is it. It works now. Fairly sure. Okay, great. Mute. Okay, man, what a struggle. Pumpkins are falling. This is... Nah, it's actually just as slow. Raining pumpkins. First of all, it's beyond my understanding. Still. How exactly? From this cell position, we end up spawning them mid-air. And this is... Oh. And it's not the height one, because if you say, oh, it's this if statement, because we're just at the top, where it's equal to height. This is smaller than height. And the cell above is air. We spawn pumpkins. Okay, but you'll see actually, this isn't fast enough either. So we need to do the other bit. The kind of stutterness when they fall is mostly because the world gets updated every tick, and every tick is about 300 milliseconds. It's on purpose, so it's kind of turn-based. Even if it's physics, it's gonna be turn-based physics, so you can pause it and have time to react. But you know, that's on purpose, but it shouldn't lag once I move around. It doesn't feel that much better to me. Well, I mean, it's not 70 milliseconds slow, but it's not good either. And the reason for that is it creates a new... It uploads the data every time. That's the reason. Or another thing is somehow we always mark we always mess about with the transform component. And every frame, these are actually decent frames, 11 milliseconds. Well, not decent to be honest, but still. No, they're not decent at all actually. What's the number here? 27. Yeah, they're not decent at all. Okay. Okay. So we can't just re-upload data to the GPU, which is fine. It means then, okay, this should stay though. I like this. Okay, get stash, put this back. Let's first do the terrain. And here in the terrain, what's the name? Chunk. Oh, this is another thing. So the chunk is one mesh with instance data that can change. Bunch of random data here. Okay, so not gonna touch this. Do I have to? Yeah, I need to touch it actually, because I can't re-upload it. So I need to keep a reference to the ID, mesh ID. Was this mesh pool? Okay, this will do nothing. Okay. Actually, some of them need to still be reset, but not all of them. So not the vertex buffer, not this, not this, not this. Nitro. I don't remember what this is. It's a draw buffer, so this should be reset anyway. And add mesh, we return mesh draw data. There you go. This is not getting serialized. And then what's this? It's a material and an instance offset. I feel like we should have more data here. So maybe they should tell us where in the buffer it is, from where to where. in every buffer. How do we construct this? I think mesh draw data for terrain is what's sure import it. Okay, this should be an option. Because new chunks will not be saved. Material ID, instance offset. Let me check what else we do in add mesh here. First vertex, first instance. Oh, input indirect draw buffer. Okay, that should not be reset. Output is fine to be reset. Overlay called instances. This is fine to be reset. I guess for all of these we can save the offsets. So maybe first instance and instance count. Instance offset. Oh, I already saved that. Instance count. I think this should be good because we have uniform instances and we don't change the geometry, so this should be fine. I don't even need the material, to be honest. First instance, and then is this returning an index or a index? An index. Okay, first instance count. Easy peasy. Okay. And this is the count we already have here, instances.count. Okay. Oh, yes, sir, they're not empty. Okay, well, good enough. And then actually, give me a second. I'm taking a tiny break. Be right back. right. And here, is this. Right. Okay. We don't skip it anymore. We always create it if we need to. But I guess I wonder what the semantics of this guy are. Train, create mesh for reset. Do I remove this mesh? Dot mesh is none when we take a cell mutable. Yes. This is one way to do it. But I wanna... This works. Or does it? No, it doesn't work. We can't do this anymore. We need to mark it for update. Maybe this should be like a component. If we do something like this, self mesh. This. Should I make it a component? And then I could. Right. So how about we do this? And then mesh draw data is this, and then mesh. Whoops. I think, well, actually, this is a bit overkill. Because they're using more, I'm gonna shove them here, actually. It's a bit ugly, but what don't you like? Actually, I don't need this. Do I? I'm fairly sure I'd never use those. I think that structure was intended originally to be sent to the GPU, but oh man, that's actually pumpkin rain. Why is my chat not working? I'm so sad. I just saw a really good comment, but somehow apparently oh, such a shame. Yeah, anyway, so if I put this here, then I don't need to, I can only update whatever I need, which is basically one instance here and there, and the GPU traffic will be minimal. But it's getting kind of late here, so I'm gonna go sleep and then continue on this tomorrow evening. And then I'll see you guys whenever I stream.